Hello, Cancer. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading, specifically looking at Cancerian energies. This is an appreciation reading, a bonus for so much viewership on my monthly readings, so I thought I'd keep sending you out more readings. So let's get to this reading, Cancer. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, thank you, and leave the rest. What's hidden from Cancer? Interesting. All right. Outcome and advice. All right. A lot in the advice and outcome. All right, the overall energy of this reading is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is being in lesson. I see the Wheel of Fortune a lot as karma. That what we put out into the world comes back to us. So being in lesson, we're looking at ooh, this does feel like resistance to ease and flow. Like the wheels aren't all cranking comfortably. What's going on? What does Cancer need to know about this Wheel of Fortune? Okay. Three of Pentacles, Judgment. King of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. It looks like, Cancer, you've been learning in lesson, learning about who to work with and who not to. It looks like you've had some type of awakening around someone who was more focused on optics, how things appear, and someone who really didn't want to put in the work. And you see through this fog of confusion now. It looks like this has been an important lesson for you. Before this, it feels like you weren't being as discerning around who has access to you, do they work? Do they work with you? Do they put in the work? A lot of times, Three of Pentacles is my card for group projects, and when there's one person that does all the work and everybody else is resting on that energy. So it feels like you really want people who put in the work, who are above board, integrity. But it looks like you needed to wake up and realize that this King of Pentacles in reverse was not above board. They weren't someone to work with. That's a lot. Who's this King of Pentacles in reverse so Cancer can recognize them? Wow. A King of Wands in reverse. Clarifying the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, someone very concerned with optics, with how things look, but they're not really putting in the work and the effort themselves. Someone wildly insecure. Wildly insecure. They kept that hidden, or you couldn't perceive their insecurity. I think because what I'm seeing here, Cancer, is that you have a level of confidence that this person does not. How can Cancer identify who this King of Pentacles and King of Wands, both in reverse? Drowning, over your head, overextended, rock bottom. Feels like you explored this activity with this person. You're over your head, overextended. Overextended, it feels like you're doing all the work. They're benefiting from the relationship with you, but they're not willing to put any of the work into the relationship. Ooh, apology. In reverse, arrogant, rash actions, insincere. So this person, it feels like when you're drowning, when you're over your head, when you need help, this person is not there. Unapologetic. So it feels like you're doing all the work, but when you need help, when you're drowning, when you're like, oh my gosh, I need help me out, this person's like, oh, can't help you. Paranoid, cautious, insecure, guarded. I don't know if this person's paranoid. Oh, yeah. This person feels like they might surveil, that they wouldn't address things and communicate with you. This feels like the type of person that would spy on you instead of asking, just communicating with you, because this person lies. This is projecting. They project their insecurities onto you. Jeez. So, tough lessons with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Feels like this person that at some point with Judgment here, you woke up and you realized through the fog of confusion who this really was. This person, it doesn't feel like they ever had any intentions of helping you out. They created this, whatever this relationship is, so you do all the work. And then when you need help, I think you had a belief system. You're very capable, Cancer. And so you're like, fine, yeah, I can do the work of 3 people. I'm amazing. And then when you finally got to a position where you are completely devastated, you're drowning, you're over your head, you're overextended, you're at rock bottom, you don't have any energy left, you're completely depleted. In your head, you're thinking, fantastic, now this person can come in and help me out. Help me off this rock bottom. But that's not what happened. And I think you needed the experience of seeing that this person, that you doing all the work was working for them. That's what they wanted. So they never had any intentions of reciprocating that. Whew. All right. In What's Hidden, Cancer, we have the Queen of Swords. Look how she's sitting on this balloon and she's got that eyeglass. So she's able to see clearly. Some discernment. Some inner discernment. Seeing the truth. Oh, I've got a bunch of little birdies. It looks like this balloon is kind of also a birdhouse with all these little birdies. Oh, isn't that cute? Okay. What does Cancer need to know about Queen of Swords energy? Inner discernment, clear seeing. It looks like this relationship with whoever this is that you've been learning about how to relate, about how not to do all the work. It's been some type of comfort zone relationship. There's a lot of fears that are keeping you in this stuck. It feels painful, like a painful relationship, like a never-ending nightmare. And you keep waking up and being in this very stuck position. Feels like the inner discernment is realizing that this relationship can't be fixed. because it's working for the other person. The King of Pentacles in reverse and King of Wands in reverse. This relationship is working for them. Why would they change? They want you to put in all the work and effort and have you feel like that's your best option. They never had any intentions of reciprocating. And so what's difficult about this that I can see is if you are completely depleted, this isn't just like an exhausted day. This feels like after years, maybe decades for some of you of operating and doing all the work, all the mental labor, all the emotional labor, all the physical labor, sexual labor. It feels like you might be completely depleted by the time you wake up and discern and realize that this person's never going to change. And now you're exhausted. For a lot of you, you've forgotten how amazing you are, because part of what this person does, because they're so insecure, is they whittle away at your stability, your security, your confidence, and project onto you what they can't have about themselves. So it feels like what I'm seeing in what's hidden is by the time you discern and realize, clear through the fog of confusion, wake up, you're completely exhausted. Some of you are isolated because you've put all your attention on this person. What else is in what's hidden that would help? I feel like for some of you, you've lost a lot of your spark. That you don't even, it's like if someone asked you what you want, what would you want? It feels like it goes through, well, what did they want, and what this and what that. It's not a simple answer for you. What excites you? What interests you? What are you curious about? What inspires you? Feels like you've been uplifting someone else for so long that you've kind of lost yourself in the mix of it all. You could still find that spark and build that fire back. All right, anything else Cancer needs to know about death? It feels like this is creating an ending. Scorpionic energy for you to transform. You've learned what you needed to learn, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, from these type of relationships. That when you're in a relationship where you're doing all the work, you're the only one caring about the connection, you're putting on all that work and effort, and then when you need help, your person doesn't help you. That's a tough place to be, a tough awakening, a tough realization. The transformation isn't to heal this relationship. It's to wake up and realize that this relationship can't change unless both of you want it to change, and this person doesn't want it to change. So the transformation doesn't happen with the relationship. It happens for you, Cancer. So you can become a version of yourself that does not engage in doing all the work. It looks like you're wanting equality, equity, partnership, instead of you doing all the work, but no support. It actually looks like you would be going at it alone without this person. It feels scary. It feels intimidating because it's a comfort zone type of relationship. But once you leave this type of relationship and you don't have to worry about them and you just focus on you and what you need, it gets so much easier because this person is like a weight, an anchor. And imagine how well conditioned you are after all that time of pulling all that extra weight. Once you let go of them, there's a glow up. There's this, oh my gosh, I can do so much without this person. So a lot of your energy and depletion is coming from inside the house, from inside the relationship. And once you let go of the relationship, you just rise up naturally and heal. It's not easy peasy as I'm making it sound. It's difficult. It feels like there's a lot of fears. It feels like you've connected your life with this person, your identity even. And so there's a lot of fears to be faced. And so the choice has to come from you, because you're the one that has to live on those decisions. Okay, in the outcome and advice, Cancer, we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, yes. 8 of Pentacles in reverse, Hanged Man, 3 of Cups in reverse, and King of Cups in reverse. That's the 3rd King in reverse. Feels like we're dealing with toxic masculinity here. Cancer, you might be dealing with toxic masculinity. All right. We started in the outcome and advice with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. This is my card for self-abandonment. It feels like in relationships, Cancer, you might have been taught, raised, conditioned to abandon yourself, to not require anything, to put others before you, to center others, to lose yourself in a relationship, to minimize your needs and wants and put others first. So it feels like there's this belief in abandoning yourself that eventually when you are in need, that the people who you've been pouring into then will now turn and pour back into you and fill you up. But what I feel like you are recognizing is that that's not how it goes. When you pour for years and decades into people, never requiring them to give anything in return, that's what you've been practicing. One way of giving and no receiving, you not receiving. And so when all of a sudden you want to change the dynamics, the unconscious agreements, these feel like a lot of unconscious agreements, then you're not getting, no one's there for you. So I think one lesson you might learn is to not abandon yourself in connections, to have an equal give and take. And that might be difficult for you to receive, to allow people to show up for you. I'm seeing that a lot of you have been disappointed by people, and so you just do it yourself. What might be an easy way to practice trusting people and allowing people to help you is just little situations, not waiting until you are drowning. But when something small happens, and start asking for help and see who shows up, see who's interested in that give and take type of relationship. Don't wait until disaster. And when you have new connections, new relationships with people, right away, reciprocity, because you're practicing receiving letting someone take care of you, lift you, buoy you. Okay. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Something's not right. Yeah. So what I'm getting is stop putting in the work and effort into abandoning yourself, doing all the work. It feels like it sets you up to be sacrificed by people. Like once you have given everything, then they don't need you anymore. It feels like you're being able to see things from a different vantage point, recognizing that this does not lead to your happiness, your soul fulfillment. You don't feel cared for, you don't feel loved, you don't feel supported in this. That by abandoning yourself and giving everything to everyone else is, it feels like there's a lot of repressed resentment. So you're not really fully wanting to do things in not every time. It's kind of, how do I explain that? I'm not trying to get ya. I'm just trying to show that this way of overgiving, of sacrificing yourself for others, does not lead to fulfillment. Feels like it's a difficult lesson. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. All right, Three of Cups in reverse, King of Cups in reverse. This feels like a toxic family environment, toxic friend group. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me. Okay, Strength card. Oh, Cancer. You're a lot stronger than people expected. Oh, your spark's not out at all. Dang. There's still this fire, this strength inside of you. It just, if you're still exhausted, it's because you've got all these people in your energy. Whoever this King of Wands, Pentacles, and Cups in reverses, toxic masculine, and then this friend group, family, toxic family group. It feels like once you get them out of your energy, when you're not buoying all these people, uplifting them, doing all the work, there's no appreciation at all. Okay. At this point, it feels like at the point where you're drowning and you don't have any energy left to give, and you're thinking, well, great, I'll be supported by the people I've been giving everything to. That's not what happens. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So, and there's no compassion, there's no care for you. There's just a recognition that you're not putting in the work and you're not laboring. It feels like there's this discarding of you. Yeah, okay. There's this weird plan by a group. It feels like this toxic masculines in with a toxic group. They want to go in a different direction. They want to leave you behind. You're being handled. No one's talking to you and communicating this. It feels like there's just this recognition that they're not seeing that you're drowning and that you need help. They're just like, oh, Cancer's broken. Cancer doesn't work anymore. Next, we got to cut Cancer loose. Jeez. Tough lessons. Painful. It feels unexpected from someone. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because it feels like you would never. Whew, I'm having a bit of emotional reaction there. That's tough energy. Tough to be handled this way. What's interesting is it feels like they don't want to just discard you. And it's secretive and it's plotting behind your back. It looks like the basic general plot is to discard you and make it so you can't move on. Jeez, that's a thank you. that's yeah, bark indeed. That's frustrating. What these people don't expect and what you're showing is strength and Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is self-love. It looks like your medicine for this is your incredible strength, your spark, and decentering this person and recentering yourself, loving yourself, all that energy, all that you pour into others, Cancer. Instead of pouring into others, pour into yourself. Loving yourself and centering yourself, loving yourself enough to create healthy boundaries. Say no and not anything else. Not explain and make everybody comfortable with your answers, but just giving your answers. No, not interested. Stop doing what you don't want to do. If you haven't left this environment, it feels like you might be expelled from it. It feels painful. And what I'm getting here in the outcome and advice is that there's at least 4 people, it feels like, the King of Cups and the 3 of Cups in reverse, that are kind of ganging up against you to create some type of ending because you're broken. Just kidding. You're not broken. This is their perspective. How they're viewing you, Cancer, is that you don't work anymore, that you don't put in the labor, they're not benefiting from you anymore, and instead of helping you out of this tough position that you're in, they're judging you unapologetically, cutting you out, discarding you is what this feels like. What's interesting is in part of this plot, it's so you can't move on, which is interesting. I think on some level, they recognize you still have access to these energies, your spark, your inner strength, and self-love. And they can't, the exhaustion leaves the more you find your independence from these energies. These people aren't for you. I think these are tough lessons, and there's a need to make some moves here quickly, getting out of this environment, away from these people, loving yourself. You have the strength to do it. You've got this inner discernment that's been coming in. You've got a lot of happiness, sunshine, clarity coming in. Feels like What I'm seeing here is the more you make moves, move away. Hey, Cancerian energy here, the Chariot. When you show up in your own reading, then it allows you to take advantage of these energies. So it looks like by moving on, moving away, putting this in your rear view is the lesson. Wow, yes. Action time. Your medicine is your self-love and decentering these people. You've got the strength to get through this, the courage, facing your fears. Time to make quick decisions, head over heart. Follow your joy and happiness. This feels like that surveilled energy. It doesn't feel like your inner child can really be free to be fully yourself and be supported. It feels like you're moving towards this version of the Sun card. But you gotta make some moves. And then World card. In that cycle with achievements, with accomplishments. This type of reading, this type of messages, being in lesson, this is the final exam of this lesson that I've been reading. And when you end this cycle, when you leave these energies, that's when you get all the wisdom. You understand what you were going through, what you were trying to get out of it, misconceptions. A lot of the wisdom shows up when you leave the environment. And new version of you, because these are a lot of lessons rolled up in one. And so on the other side of that is like, oh, I get it. Healthy boundaries, love myself, don't abandon myself, reciprocity, don't overgive. Cancer is so generous, and you give and give. It's part of your spirit. But I think what you're looking for is balance, reciprocity. So, all right, Cancer, I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day.